Bum, 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 ba-doo. Ladies and gentlemen, your statistics for Algebra 1 begins. I am your commentator, Mr. Cockpenner. Welcome back. Today, what we're going to be doing I forgot, I didn't tell you what the topics were for the statistics portion. Mean, median, mode, and range, frequency tables, box, and Whisker plots. Short little story. When I took my undergrad at Kent State University, go Golden Flashes. I had this awesome Russian teacher. She was like 5 foot tall, maybe, and she would say box and Whiskers, the box and Whiskers plots. So when we'll use this again in college, if you go to Kent, I can't think of what course it was for. However, I had this little Russian lady who was fantastic. She wrote me a couple recommendations. But she always, box and Whiskers, what don't you get? What don't you understand? And I'd be like, the math, of course. So, ready? Mean, median, mode, and range. This is a great slide to take notes on. If you haven't done so already, my smoke detector's dying apparently. That was that beep. Our mean is the average, so you're going to add up all your numbers, divide by the number of numbers you added up, and that's what your average is going to be. Kind of like when your grades, add up all your test scores, divide by how many tests you took, and get your overall percentage. Median is the middle numbers, so you have to make sure that you write them in order, and you find the middle number. All right, if you don't have a middle number, you take the 2 in the middle, add them up, divide them by 2. Mode is the most occurring set of data. And then range is the highest, the difference between the highest and lowest. So difference, again, means subtraction. So you take your highest, subtract your lowest, and get your range. So again, if you want, take a screenshot of this, write down your notes. I've found through, as the year has progressed, that a lot of successful students are taking notes on their own in a notebook, and we can reference those when we come back to the face-to-face. So this would be a great one to start if you forgot these words. I know this is review, but hey, let's make math easy and do some review. All right, find the mean, median, mode, range for the following set. First, what we have to do is write our data in order. So let's go with 17, and then cross that off. We go 22, cross that off, another 22. So there's my mode so far. We're going in order, so now 26, 39, 41, and 47. As you can see, so I don't miss anything, I like to, a little short tip is cross off that information. All right, so when we take the mean, we add all these up and then divide by how many numbers we have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. So I know my denominator is going to be 7. When I add up all those numbers, just to save time, it's 114. You can check my work, but I've tried it, or I've done it like 7 times now to get 214. When we get that, our mean is going to get us 30.57. We're going to round to the nearest hundredth there, or if you round to the nearest tenth, 30.6. Median, that's going to be our middle number. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the number in the middle, we're going to go right here with 26 because there's 3 to the left and now 3 to the right. So our middle number, our median, is going to be 26 for this data. I'm just going to circle these answers. Our mode is the most occurring. I see 22 twice, so that's going to be 22. And our range, remember, we take the highest value, which is 47, subtract our lowest number, and we get 30. So all statistics is going to be data collection. Making sure that we're organized, I think, is the most useful step here in Algebra 1. And maybe why we struggle the most is because organization takes time and it takes effort. However, when we do the little things, the big things come easier, right? So the very first thing we have to do, the little thing, is put it in order, and then the big things come after that pretty easy. All right. Again, put it in order. We go 18. Looks like we have 18 again. And then we go 22. And then 22. And then 24. And then 28. Then 37. 41. 52. And then 62. So again, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 numbers again. So we're good. If we do the mean, we know we're going to be dividing by 10 since we just counted that information because we want to double check, do the little things to make the big things happen easier. When I get that, I believe I get 324 from my scratch work prior to taking the recording. So that's going to give me an average of 32.4 for my mean or average. My median is I'm going to split this data in half. So I don't have a middle number. So I'm going to take the last of the half and the first of the half. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. That's what I mean by taking both the last of the bottom half, the first of the bottom or upper half. I have 24 here. I don't know why I can't write fours with this. And I have 28 here. What's in between them? You could either add them up and divide by 2, or look at those two numbers, and we're going to get 26 is in between those. What's the most occurring number? I actually have two of them, 18 as well as 22. So you can have more modes than just one. If we go back to those notes, you can read that. And then my range is 62 is my high. My low is 18, so 62 take away 18 gets me a range of 44. All right. So I know this is kind of review, but these are free points on the test then. I always loved when my classes did contain review and not just brand new material because hopefully I could pad my grade up with the review. All right. So I know it's a little bit more work. However, hopefully it helps your test score. All right. So again, just stay organized. I like to cross off again when I go through them and then recount them up. Because if I had 10 in this first data set, I need 10 here. And that also gives me that denominator when I take my mean. So it's not for just to double check. It's actually to help you with that denominator as well. Just stay organized. All right, the next topic. So mean, median, mode, done. And range, done. Frequency tables. I'm not going to lie. I played Settlers of Catan over the weekend, and I am a dork, and I like to make a frequency table of what numbers have been rolled just to see what numbers are trending during the game if you've ever played it before. And everyone who knows me and has played with me always goes, so what number was the highest? What was the most rolled, right? So I make a frequency table, and I do all the tally marks as you see down here. And then at the end of the game, I say, here's our frequencies, and then organize the data. I don't know if that's just the math nerd in me, but I love doing that just to see what numbers are rolled during the game. So the marks awarded for an assignment set for a year 8 class of 20 students were as followed. So 6, 7, 5, yada, yada, yada. Present this information in a frequency table. So step 1, I'm just going to save time before I prepared this. Construct a table with 3 columns. You have your marks, your tallies, and then your total is going to be your total marks of the tallies. All right. The first column shows where the are arranged in order, i.e. lowest to highest. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to start with the tallies. So you can see this first one is 6. So we have a tally here at 6. Our next one is 7. So we mark a tally here. 5, and there's 20 of them, so I don't want to bore you and make the tallies. So guess what? Step 2, make the tally marks. Boom, there they are. Step 3, count the number of tally marks in each column, and there's your frequency. So if we look at our data set, we have 4, how many times? Twice, we can see that frequency. 5, here's one of them. Here's the other one, twice. So if you look, the most frequent number that we do have showing up is going to be a 7, which is in the middle, right? That's our average. That's why we have a C average. Starts at 7. Our low was 4. Our high was 10. All right. So just to save time and marking tallies, I just copied and pasted this for your amusement, just so we don't waste as much time. All right, the last. So hopefully, yeah, that's basically all we're doing for frequency tables right now. In the next session, we will talk about two-way frequency tables, but this is just your basic generic form of a frequency table. So here's your box and Whisker plots. Okay, so if you know why they're calling it this, here's the box, and these are your whiskers off that box. Okay, so it makes sense. We're going to arrange our data. So this is going to be the first quarter. This is the second quarter of information. Here's our median in the middle of the box. Here's our third quartile, and then our fourth quartile. Okay, so just to give you a heads up, that's what we're going to do with our data. Vocab, very important that you pause right here, because we're going to talk about the low extreme. Makes sense. It's the smallest number in the data set. The first quartile is the middle number of the first lower half of the data. The second quartile is the middle number of the data set, also known as the median. The third quartile, the middle number of the second upper half of the data. You have your upper extreme, which is the largest number, and then your interquartile range, the IQR, is the information that makes up the majority of that data, and it starts at the first quartile and goes to the third quartile. Okay, and again, if we just look at this information here, we can make sense of that actually. So these vertical lines represent medians, which are those middle number values. Okay, so we're looking here. This will be that first. Here's your middle, median, and there's your third. So you can see how we're going to make this box pretty quickly, and that's just organizing the data and taking the first median, cutting this in half, taking the second median, and you notice that these don't have to be perfectly in the middle. So if we look here at that middle median number here, this isn't directly in the middle of this box, right? And that's okay. It doesn't have to. That median could actually even be all the way over here if the data warranted it. So don't think you're doing something wrong because it's not directly in the middle, or it's not directly in the middle between these whiskers either. Okay, it's just how the data is organized. Okay, so again, your vocab, take a screenshot, write it down. This is going to be crucial to your success. Steps to make a box and whisker plot. Again, like I just said, either screenshot this or pause the video here so you can write down the steps. Again, if you notice, the very first step is being organized. Are you organized? Order the data from least to greatest, okay? Now we're talking median. We've already talked about that at the beginning of the lesson, okay? Extremes, what's your lowest, what's your highest, okay? And then this is kind of the algebra portion of what we're going to get to now, all right? So the very first thing is they give you a bunch of data. This first step right here is organizing it, all right? I'm just showing you an example because there's a lot of writing involved in this, so I didn't do that. But this is your organization just to save time, right? You can see 14 was my first number, 21, we're not in order. So they put it in order from least to greatest, 12, 13, 14, 15, 19, 19, 19, 21, 24, 25, 26. So we can talk about mean, median, mode, and range if we wanted to. We're going to organize it in a data set. So this looks pretty organized as far as where we're at here and in the middle. It's not always going to look like that. We're going to do an example next that doesn't, but sometimes the data does warrant that. So whatever the data asks us to do, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so the very first thing, put it in order, check. Circle the median. The median is that middle number, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So now we have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers here to the left and 5 numbers to the right. So we know that this is our median, and you can see how it lines up here. 19 corresponds to that middle part of the box. And now we're going to cut this part in half. We have these 5 numbers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, they're going to circle. I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so circle the extremes. We have 12 and we have 26. Draw a number line that includes all the numbers in the data set above the line, and draw the points for the median, the quartiles, and the extremes. So, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I missed that. The upper and lower quartiles, we split this in 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what's our middle number here is 14. So you can see that that's where the beginning of the box is going to start. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 data sets here, or points here. The middle number is 24, so that's where the box ends. And all we do is construct the box. If you look, we have our lowest value. I'm already getting ahead. Goes here at 12. Our greatest value is 26. So we know to connect that median and that median to the whiskers. And there we go. Draw the whiskers in the boxes. Any questions? Let's do an example that's not done for us. Mrs. Wheeler asked a group of students in her class to write their age and months on a sticky note. The 10 students... Oh, I was like, holy cow, these kids are old, 131 years old. It's in months. Come on, Cockburner, pay attention. The 10 students in the class brought their sticky notes to the front of the room and posted them in order on the whiteboard. Create a data display. What are some observations that can be made from the data displayed? So here's our information. Post-it note 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we have our information displayed there. What I did already was I organized it. I put it in order, 131, 130, 131, 32, 34, 36, 37, 38, 42, 47, and 50. So that's step 1. Circle the median. So if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I don't have a middle number, so what do I have to do? Is take these two values, and that's going to be my median. So my median's 136.5, because if I take those, add them up, and cut them in half, you get 136.5. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 over here. So what do I do now? I have this number here, I'm sorry, in the middle. So now I do get a middle number here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have this number, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have this number as my median. So you can see that these are where the boxes are going to start. Okay, does that make sense? Because that median is in between there, so that's why I'm going to include 136 and 137 to the left and to the right here. So my lower extreme is 130. My upper extreme is 150. My third quartile is 142. And my first quartile is 132. Did I say 132? I meant 142 over here, sorry. I'm struggling with writing force for some reason tonight. 132 and 142, how many spots are in between there? My interquartile range between that first quarter and that third quarter is 10. You can already see how this box is already forming without a number line. So when I do put that data in here, I'm going to put my lower extreme here above the number line. There's my point for my lower extreme. My upper extreme is 150. My first quartile is 132, so here's 131. 132, I make my vertical line. My median's 136, so here's 136.5, I should say. So there's my middle, or my median. My third quartile is 41, 42. Now I'm just going to connect the box. And you can see that this extreme, the data is closer to the lower extreme than the upper extreme. All right, so this is a quick lesson. I hope it makes sense to you. Organizing the data, number one, is crucial, and then finding the median would be the second most crucial step to all this information. Hey guys, guess what? It's the best slide. It's the last slide. So we start our topic 9, statistics, with mean, median, mode, and range, followed by frequency tables, and then our Vox and Whisker plots. All right, you know what to do. If you have questions, email, raise your hand, pause it, rewind it, re-listen, subscribe, thumbs up, and as always, here we go, brownies, here we go.